All right, welcome everyone to our Father's Day paint night. I just would like to remind you, if you want me to slow down or if you need me to repeat a step, just let me know. You can let me know either in the chat or just let me know if I need to slow down, talk louder, anything at all. So I'm just going to share the image one more time, just to show you guys what we are going to be painting today. And then we can begin. All right, so this is the image that we are going to be painting. It looks a little bit difficult, but we will be going step by step. So I'm sure everybody's image will look great. So we are actually going to start with our blue. And as you can see in the image, it's about 2/3 of your canvas. So I have a canvas here and I'm probably gonna do about to here. And just with your blue here, I have coastal blue. I'm just going to paint about 2/3 of my canvas with this blue color. That's how we're going to start. Don't make it too thick, just because we will be painting over top of it once we get to the sailboat step. So just painting our canvas blue for now, about this much. And your lines do not have to be perfect because we will be kind of fixing that top line, our horizon line, soon. All right, Janice, I know you have just joined us now, so I want to explain the first step of our painting. We are going to be starting by painting about 2/3 of our canvas with our blue color. And if you need me to repeat a step, slow down, talk louder, anything at all, you can let me know either in the chat or just let me know. Great, so when your canvas is blue, this is what it should look similar to. And we are not going to clean our brush quite yet.
Should all our lines be vertical, horizontal? Our brush strokes?
Yes, they will be. And as our blue is drying, we're going to add a little bit of white to our palette there and make just some kind of small brush strokes in the water just to kind of create a water effect. I will show you that as we wait for our glue to dry there. So I'm just adding one little drop of white into my blue. And it won't be much lighter, but we don't want it to stand out too much. So I'm just going to be adding a couple of those lines like so, and they will blend in as I keep adding some brush strokes there. Just to kind of create a little bit more of a water effect there. And once you're happy with your water there, you can wash your brush.
Show me what it should look like. It's Janice.
Yes, no worries. So the water effect is a little bit hard to see from here. But
so I just did the blue layer.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So then we're going to be adding a drop of white into your blue on your palette, and just creating a little bit of a water effect on the water there.
Okay.
I can share the image again, and you can see not underneath where the sun or moon, depending if it's a sunset or a sunrise, I guess. So more so on the left side of the canvas here, where this line work is. If you want to add a little bit of a water effect, that's kind of what we're doing now. We have not done this part yet, though, the white reflection.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you guys are done that step and we can move on. If anybody needs some help, just let me know.
Claire,
Yes,
you mind just holding yours up for a quick second,
of course.
please? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No problem. All right, does anybody need some more time for that step? No? Okay. So our next step, we are going to be working on the sky, and we are going to be mixing an orange color. So you'll need your red and your yellow. You're going to need a lot more yellow. So I would say start with your yellow and slowly add your red to it. Maybe start with some yellow and maybe add just a drop. You can always add more. You can never add less. But we're going to be mixing an orange to start. So shake my red there. All right. So as you can see, I just have one small drop of red in my yellow. And this is the color that I came up with. Sorry if my lighting's not great. But I think that is the color that I'm going to stick with. And we are going to be using our orange and painting the top part of our sky here. And our next part will, it's going to be a bit of a gradient. I'll show you the image one more time. So our top part of our sky is orange, and the bottom parts, we're gonna add a little bit more yellow and a little bit of white to make that gradient effect. So once you have your orange, mixed, we're going to be doing about this much of our sky. All right, so I've just kind of roughly painted mine here for now. And in the color that I have mixed already, I will be adding some more yellow to that same color and a little bit of white as well.
Can you please explain that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So into the color that I've already mixed, so the orange color, on my palette, I'm going to add to that exact same color that I've already created. So as you can see here, I'm going to add a drop more of yellow, but also a drop of white to kind of make it a little bit of a lighter color, so we can create that gradient effect with the same color. So a drop of yellow and some white to lighten that color. And I'll show you once I mix that color a bit. It is, so it's a similar color, it is just going to be quite a bit paler. And I will add that to the bottom here. So it is a bit paler. And as I paint, I will blend the colors together to get that gradient effect. So I can do it this way, once I get my line here. And again, your line does not have to be perfect, as we are going to be working on that horizon. So the more I blend and paint these colors, the more of a gradient effect we are going to get here. So everyone see how that kind of fades?
What should we do if the light yellows falling into the blue?
No problem at all. We will be making our horizon line with our black over top of that, so no worries at all. We will be painting over that line.
Okay.
With all these paint nights, you guys are going to be masters at gradients. We've been doing these a lot lately. And once you're happy with your sky, you can go ahead and wash your brush. How's everyone finding that step? See some nods, that's good.
Which step?
The gradient, the sky.
Yeah, to the orange and the yellow, we wait.
Yes.
And then what? Rinse our brush?
Yes. After that step, we will be cleaning our brush. All right, so for our next step, we are going to want our blue to be pretty dry. So if your blue is not dry yet, you can always dry off your canvas a little bit. Because we will be doing our sailboat. For this step, you're going to be needing your smaller brush.
Smaller in which respect?
So not as thick, like if I have two brushes here.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to be using this one. Just because this step has a little bit more detail in it. So I'm going to share the image again. It might be easier to see the sailboat while you paint one. Also, you can feel free to create the sailboat however you would like. This image here is just a guideline. If you want to create your boat differently, please feel free to. Also, if you want to put it into the center of your canvas or on the right side of your canvas, this image is all yours, so feel free to create it however you would like to. So for the sailboat, we will just be needing our black paint, as it is a silhouette. So just your black paint and your thinner paintbrush.
We don't paint the horizon?
We will be doing that after, just because our sky is a little bit wet, and we'll be painting that on top of the sky. So we're going to be starting with the sailboat today.
Okay.
So I will stop sharing my screen for a second, and we can do the sailboat as a step-by-step if you guys would like to, if that's helpful. So I'm starting here with a line. I'm going to start by doing just kind of an outline of my sailboat first. So I'm going to do my line, the top of where I want my sailboat to end. And then I will be doing the shape of the boat underneath here. So I'll keep flipping my canvas around once I have that shape. And then I will share the screen again to the main image if you would like to see that one too. All right, so here's the shape of my boat as of now. I'll hold this up for a little while. And then we will be working on the sails here. Again, if you want your sailboat to be a different shape or to be a different kind of boat as well, feel free to do that. All right, so there's my two sails there. And now we will just be coloring in the lines that we have created. So I'll keep this up here for a minute, and then I'll share the image one more time so you can see what the final product will look like too. In the image that I will share, there are two little people in the back of the boat, so feel free to add some people into your boat too if you would like to. All right, and as I color that in, I will share the image again. I love the way the black looks on top of the bright colors that we've used. All right, so I have actually added 2 little people in the back of my boat here. I will share my screen now that it's all painted in. You can go up close. They're just little circles with some lines underneath. Simple shapes. Does anybody else want to share their painting so far? Nope, no worries. All right, and let me know when you guys are done that step and we can move on.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Sounds good. Wow, that looks great. Dana's sharing hers right now and it looks wonderful.
Are we able to see as well?
I believe if I unspotlight myself, actually, if I,
Wow.
there we go. Spotlight for everyone. There we go.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
I like how she put a rudder in there.
Yeah, it looks
I-
great.
That's
I
what
Good.
love the shape of the boat.
Venetian.
All right, so for our next step, everyone, we are going to be doing our horizon line. So this is where we will be kind of solidifying our background here. So we're going to start with a straight line across our horizon. So if, as you can see, there's some white in between mine here, or some blue and orange that have mixed there. So that's where we get to cover all that up and make it a perfectly straight line. I will share the screen one more time. As you see here, the horizon goes up on the left side a little bit. So you can see some rocks or some mountains, whatever you would like to create there. It is, again, totally up to you. If you want to rise it on the other side as well, you can do that. But we are going to be starting with that straight black line and then creating any shapes, any dips, any mountains, any detail that you would like to add to your own image. Again, you can feel free to copy this one too. So what I find helpful for this step is to start with your straight black line and then create an upper line where you want that background to go. And then again, we'll just be painting in those lines just like we did with that boat. So start with your shapes and then you can fill in that black line there. Yes,
Sorry, I'm a little bit behind, still working on the sails.
no worries.
Do you mind just quickly re-explaining that horizon line, please?
Yeah, of course. So you're going to start with that black line, that straight black line just on the bottom.
Okay.
And that way you can kind of solidify where you want your water end and your sky to start.
Okay.
So just a straight black line there. And then you can go ahead and draw another black line where you want your kind of horizon to, I guess, the details of your horizon. If you want mountains on one side or on both sides, however you want to do that, you can do another black line on top there, and then just fill in those two black lines, just like we did with our sail. So create the shape first, and
Okay.
then you can fill that color in.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. How's everyone's horizon lines coming?
I don't know if I can get a horizon line. I think I'm just gonna show you my sailboat.
Yeah,
and see
no
if I
worries.
can salvage this. So I didn't make the sail like tall enough.
Oh, no worries. It's a silhouette either way. So if you do your horizon line, I would just kind of suggest don't make your horizon as tall as your sail. Like make it smaller near your sail and then larger. But even if it's just that black line behind your sail, that's totally fine.
Okay, it might have to be that.
Yeah.
Unknown caller.
I'm going to add you on a spotlight again there, Dana. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Wonderful. Does anybody else want to share theirs? Oh, wow, look at your sky. That's wonderful. Here's David's for everyone. Beautiful.
Could I see that again, please?
okay.
That's amazing. I like the way you really made it your own.
That's wonderful. I love your water there.
Both of them are.
The problem is the sails on top of the
Oh,
land.
that's okay.
Actually, I like your sails. It reminds me similar to sort of a pirate ship type thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Oh, and here's Janice.
That's excellent.
Oh, yours is so nice. Your sky is so bright. It's lovely.
Yeah.
All right, so for our next step, we are going to be continuing on with our black, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a reflection of our boat here. So for this step, if you have some paper towel, I would recommend you, so I still have some black here on my brush, which is great, but I'm just going to, don't put it in your water. If you did, that's okay, but we want to dry off our brush. And this is a step we call dry brushing. So we're going to be using paint with a dry brush. Just to kind of get a small reflection effect there. So what I did was took some black, wiped it off a little bit onto my paper towel, and just created a little bit of a scribble here. And that's what we call dry brushing. So it's not quite as dark as our black here on these ones, but we still get our black effect there. And if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can always go in and add a little bit there to your reflection too.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
Is if you go to the dollar store, you can get a whole package of brushes instead of having to worry about working with just a couple brushes.
Yes, that's very smart.
About cleaning them all so much until they
Exactly. That is a great suggestion. Also, if you've done a couple paint nights with us, you typically get a pack of 2 brushes anyway, so reuse those brushes. I would recommend you keeping your paint and your brushes in case we ever use the same colors.
Oh, definitely.
So now your reflection is solid.
If I come up a little bit closer, it's not quite solid.
Mine is.
If it is, that's okay. I did add a little bit more to mine, and it is a bit darker, but that's fine. So you can use, for the next step, you can use either your large brush or your small brush. It is totally up to you. And we will be creating that moon, sun, whatever you want to call it, in our background. So if you have your horizon going up and down, you can put it more in the center, you can put it off to the side, wherever you would like to put yours. I'm going to share the image again. So we're going to be creating that perfect circle in the sky. So for that, you're going to be using your white with a small, small drop of your yellow. Tiny, tiny drop of yellow, just to add a little bit of color to that. But it is mostly white there. So once I mix my color, I will show you here what that looks like. So as you can see on my palette there, big blob of white, small blob of, and it is dripping. Small blob of yellow there.
And how do we get a circle?
You can just try to draw a perfect circle with your paintbrush, if you can. And with our background being dry now, you should be able to paint over top of it, even though it is a lighter color. And again, you might not always get a perfect circle, but just try your best. Again, that's not a perfect circle, but we'll try. And I recommend, again, starting with that shape and then coloring it in. You can always touch it up as you go. So my color is a little bit thinner, so you can see through it a little bit. So if I do another coat on top of that, I should get more of a solid color there. The circle is the hardest shape to draw by hand, but I believe you guys will be great at doing it.
I traced my water bottle
That is a great idea. If anybody has a water bottle
with a lid.
Maybe even the bottom of one of your paintbrush or your paint bottles, great idea.
What color is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be a very, very pale yellow, but if you want, you can make it plain white as well. I did a tiny drop of yellow in my white there, just to give it a little bit of color. But if you would like to keep it white, that's okay too. All right, so I have finished up my, I guess I did a second coat on there just because my paint was a bit thinner. And there's my circle in the sky.
I think I made mine
Black. Mine's black because I didn't rinse my paintbrush.
Forgot to remind you about that step, sorry.
No, I would have forgotten anyway.
So yours is a moon.
It's an alien.
It's an alien. Also, when your alien dries, because we are using acrylic paint, you will be able to paint right over top of that. So just like we did with kind of these steps as well. This paint is great because if you paint a lighter color on top of it, it should cover it up.
I noticed as it starts to dry, some of the colors show through the back.
A little
so
bit, yeah. So you can just add
Yeah.
another coat on top of that, and it should cover it up. How's everyone's sun, moon, alien looking?
as well as can be expected of me.
Sounds good.
I found because my black dry brushing didn't go very well on the reflection, I'm just adding a little touches of blue through it, and it seems to be making it look a little bit
Yeah, that's a great idea.
as it's supposed to.
Yep, because then you can add kind of that other detailing in as well.
My dog is barking at me, so I have to go on mute.
No worries.
Seriously, what?
He wants to
What
paint
is your problem? Oh, oh my God. So smart. Okay.
Does anybody need more time for that step? Nope. Okay. So for our next step, we are going to be doing dry brushing one more time. So I'm actually going to be adding one tiny dab, like probably about this much, of black, just a small bit, into that same color as that moon, sun, alien.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
just a tiny bit of gray, so it looks like a nice pale gray there. And now it's on my brush. Again, I will be wiping that off to create that dry brushing effect underneath onto the water here. So I kind of waited a little bit too long and it dried a bit. So I'll go back in there. And however you would like to create that reflection.
Oh,
And if you would like to, just like some suggestions before, you can always add more blue into those reflection lines, either underneath the boat or underneath your light reflection here, to add a little bit more detail or to take away some of that reflection that you've created.
and we have to make sure it's dry.
Yeah, so that's just the dry brushing effect again there.
Oh gosh, this is so bad. It's so good.
Are you enjoying it though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going for abstract now.
There you go. The fun thing is that everybody's painting, no matter what, will always look different. So make it your own. And once you are done that dry brushing, you can feel free to wash that brush.
Are the birds the last thing?
Yes. So our final step will be the birds, which is our next step. So we will be going back to that black color. And we will be adding our little birds into the background wherever you want them. In our image, there's two here, but you can create them wherever you want. So I will share that picture one more time. And again, our final step is just adding those little birds. So you can create them with as little M's if you would like to. I also find it helpful to do the little dot first and then adding the two wings on the other side. But however you would like to create them, and again, wherever you would like to create them.
If that's the last final instruction for the painting this evening, I'll go ahead and just end the recording.
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.